Joan, even though you are like a stranger in this family, do you plan on coming with us on our family vacation? What's that? Good evening, Doris. Could you tell me what you're talking about right now? I'm talking to you about exactly what I've said to you. We're planning on going to a very expensive resort this time as a family for our vacation. And when I say family, I mean myself, my husband, and our 2 kids will be going on vacation to that resort. However, for some reason, I've heard that even though you're a stranger to us, you plan on joining in our fun as well. Why are you saying that like you don't even know who I am? I've been married to Scott for almost 3 years now, right? And if I remember correctly, I've gone on your guys' family vacation with you all every year before this. And as I remember, every single time I had some sort of complaint about you being with us. I was always thinking to myself, why is there a stranger coming along with us on our family vacations, and would even go telling Scott that? And I know that every time you talk to him about that and complain about me, I'd give you the exact same reason. Remember that I've always been the one made the driver in the end that takes you guys out to wherever we plan to go on vacation as well? I feel that a thank you would suffice after all that I've done on those vacations. What are you talking about, a thank you? We've been the ones allowing you to come with us on every trip when it's supposed to be a trip meant only for the family to enjoy. So instead of me being thankful, I believe it should be you thanking every one of us. Well, even if you think that to be the case, Scott has always been the one to invite me on the trips with you all. So if you don't want me coming on the family vacations with you all, then go tell Scott that and see what he thinks. Did I ever say that I don't want you coming on our family vacations? I'm just trying to make it clear to you that joining us when you're nothing more than a stranger is pretty odd to me. That sounds like the same thing to me, Doris. All you've said so far to me have been things about me being a stranger and that I shouldn't join you guys. I am the one being invited on these trips by your son, so please go talk with him about having me join you all or not, please. Your mom is coming after me again about joining you all on your family vacation this year. Have you still not gone and had your driver's license updated so that you can start driving again?
I forgot to tell everyone that I still can't drive yet. But everything will be fine. I'm sure that everyone will be fine with you being the designated driver here. And when we start heading out on that day, I'll let everyone know that I don't have my license back yet.
Oh, for crying out loud, Scott! This is once again you bringing me on a family vacation with you all without me even wanting to go on it in the first place. I have told you every year that I'm fine letting you all go as a family, yet you still don't have an updated driver's license yet, forcing me to be there to drive you all. You can't drive your family, and so you always ask for me to step in. That's the reason I'm forced to be around you all. Yet your mom still comes after me asking why I'm coming over and over again, every single year like she has no clue why. Why don't you go and tell her the real reason why I have to come along with you all as your driver?
Don't worry about it, Joan. I'll tell them soon enough.
Well, when is this soon enough you talk about? I'd like for you to go talk with her right now. Right now, if I have to keep putting up with the way she talks to me, then I'm going to explode myself. You understand that I don't want to go on your guys' family vacation, but I have to, right?
Yeah, I told you I understand that. But could you stop getting so upset about all of this and look forward to the trip? This time we're going to a very expensive ski resort after all.
But if I have to go with the rest of your family, they're going to use me like I'm their maid. And that will not be fun for me whatsoever. Well, whatever. Just make sure to tell your mom about this. Doris? Where have you all gone off to with the car? The signal out here is really bad right now, so I couldn't hear what you said to me over the phone. Can you tell me again what you were trying to say to me over the phone? What is going on right now that includes you all and the car being out of my sight? Well, just a few things have taken place is all. But the main thing is, we've left you there while we run off and enjoy our vacation without you. What? You've left me here? I thought that would be a great spot for you while on our way out to the ski resort. I've been thinking for the past few weeks that the perfect way to get rid of you would be by leaving you in the mountains as we went on our way. What the heck are you talking about, Doris? Can you stop with these needless jokes? Where have you guys taken and hidden the car? I told you that we went on our way without you. You guys actually took off without me? Are you actually being serious right now that the rest of you took off in that car without me? And now that we've gotten to this point, I just want to say that I only reserved a room for 4 of us at the resort. What? So there's no way the rest of us could bring you along to the resort because there will be no place for you there. Thank you for driving us to the resort for the past 3 hours. But you are a stranger to all of us, so we have to get rid of you before we get to the resort. We only have another 20 minutes or so to the place, so the rest of us can drive that length without your help. Wait, how the heck are you guys driving, though? And did you just say that you didn't reserve a spot for me at that resort on purpose? That right there is one of the worst cases of bullying I've ever seen from someone. Say whatever you'd like, Joan. But I do not have the heart to reserve a spot for you at this high-class resort when I barely even know you. All you are to my family is a driver, and I'm not going to be the one paying for you to stay with us at the resort. I'll be driving the last leg of this trip without you, so you're free to walk back home through the mountains and in the cold. Well, I wish you the best of luck, then. And good luck to you, walking out of these mountains in the freezing cold. Can you tell me who it was that drove the car off without me in the first place? Huh? I already told you that I'm the one driving. What? But Doris, you don't have a driver's license, right? And who cares about that? Me not having a license or not to drive out here doesn't matter. Well, the whole reason I had been driving you all out every year is because nobody in your family has a driver's license. Anyway, I hope you make it out of that really scary drive to that place. Just remember that if anything were to happen to you guys in that car, you'll be the one responsible for all of it. I just received a call from the hospital. Is everything okay with you guys? Well, I can tell by receiving a call from the hospital about you guys that things aren't okay, but that's not what I care about. I just want to see what you think now after the accident. Joan? You received a call from the hospital? They had called me as I was the one written down on someone's emergency contact information. But I have no real plans of coming all the way back out there to see you guys. Really, I just wanted to tell you that I will not be coming out there to help you guys. Now, goodbye. Huh? What are you talking about? Tell me right now before you stop talking to me. Did the hospital not give you a rundown of everything that's happened during and after the accident? Oh, they sure did give me the rundown of your guys' situation. You got into a car accident. That sucks. But you were the ones in the accident and not me, so... In other words, that accident and all of you guys have nothing to do with me now. So goodbye. I'll make sure to grab all my things from the house before I leave for good, so don't worry about any of that now. Huh? What do you mean you're grabbing all your things from the house and leaving for good? And wait, why are you at the house right now? Are you not still walking back home from the mountains? I'm definitely not. I've already made it back home. Why are you back home already? That was way faster than I'd hoped for. I could have sworn that we left you in the deepest part of the mountains, somewhere you'd have to spend at least a lot longer walking out of and hopefully freeze on the way out. I was able to get picked up by a nice gentleman who then took me out of the mountains and back home. You hitchhiked? How were you able to do that when there were barely any cars on the road? There are more cars than you think on the roads in that mountain range, considering it is winter now and everyone's going on skiing and snowboarding. So finding someone to give me a ride out of there only took me close to 10 minutes or so. He was able to take me out of the mountains, and then when I told him where I needed to go after that, he He said I lived close to where his house is. And only a little bit after I'd walked into the house and started to pack my things, I got the call from the hospital telling me about you all. I really never expected you to be back home in only a few hours like that. It only took about 2 hours to get out of the mountains, and then another 30 minutes because we took the highway instead of the back roads on the way to the house. Well, unlike me, I'm sure things haven't been as smooth for the four of you. You ended up pretty much totaling the car, and all of you were able to first-hand experience a car crash. Sucks to be all of you. Huh? Sucks to be us? What the hell? Why are you talking to me like that right now? Do you have any idea what kind of accident we all ended up in? I don't, actually, nor do I care to know. In my case, I'm totally fine, and that's all that matters. But I have to say, it must be awful for all of you to get into an accident right before you made it to that amazing-looking resort. Driving on that iced-up road on that side of a mountain was horrible. I was barely even able to keep the car on the road because of the amount of sliding. I never thought something this awful was going to happen to us on that last drive up to the resort. Oh, come on. It didn't even have to be winter for everyone to know that you driving after having not driven in years was going to end up in you getting everyone into an accident. Excuse me? For a long time now, and I mean a very long time now, your whole family has been awful at driving. So bad, in fact, that each and every one of you has had their license revoked at some point because you cannot drive. And this time you were originally going to have your husband drive the car the rest of the way, but he had been drinking the whole ride up, and so you had to take the wheel. But man, was that a bad choice, considering the last time you drove, you got into an accident on that same mountain road, which led to you losing your license. You don't even have a lick of sense when it comes to driving, so what the hell did you think you were doing today, leaving me behind? I can't think of you as anything other than an idiot right now. An idiot? How rude can you be, Joan? How rude can I be? I'm telling the truth, aren't I? It's because of the choices you made today that you put your whole family in life-threatening danger and almost drove that car straight off a cliff. I understand that, but there are certain things you can be saying and certain things you can't be saying about me right now. Well, I feel I can be saying things like this about you right now since they're the truth. Sorry if you think differently, but there's no point in trying to run from the truth now, right? So what's so rude about that? You're being very rude. Saying things like that to your mother-in-law right after she'd gotten into an accident? You're the one that did all of this to me, so all you're doing now by being that rude is making yourself look even worse. Do you not feel any form of sympathy for me right now after all of this? I don't, actually. After all the crap your family's put me through, I would never feel any sympathy for you guys, no matter how horrible the situation is for you all. At this point, I really just do not care. I mean, you told me you're just all strangers to me anyway, so there's no point in wasting my energy thinking about you. What do you mean we're all strangers to you? You told me that a little while back, right? I mean, even today you said something like that to me. I am not a part of your family, so you don't want me coming to the resort with you all. And that's the reason you ended up leaving me behind and then wrecked the car in an accident that landed you all in the hospital, right? I still cannot believe that you made it home that quickly, when I made sure that we were leaving you in a part of the mountains that most people never drove through. Look, you don't even seem to realize that what you've done was incredibly messed up. I wouldn't want to be anything besides a stranger to such heaps of trash like you. I've finally come to the point in my life where I really no longer feel anything for you, your husband, or even Scott. I just cannot keep being a part of such a toxic family as yours, Doris. Excuse me? What do you mean by toxic family? Whose family is toxic? Joan, you have gone way past the line now with how rude you're being to both me and my family. And you're a part of this family as well. You're my son's wife, But that's why I'm speaking as though I'm no longer going to be a part of your family, or Scott's wife. I'm going to divorce him, and then get out of this house forever. Huh? Divorce my Scott? That should make you very happy to hear now, right? Huh? Hold on a moment. Did Scott say that he was okay with you doing that to him? I don't know how he'll feel about this. At this point, he has no other choice but to accept divorce now, right? Because as of right now, I am so serious about leaving him and you guys that I've gotten in touch with a lawyer. Are you kidding me? Why would you say something like that to his own mother? Because I'm serious about all of this, and I feel you need to understand that very well. And besides, you've been the one calling me a stranger for the longest time now, even though I've been with Scott for 3 years. I understand that, but right now we are in a very tough situation. Huh? You're in a tough situation? Then tell me, Joan, who else is going to be coming out here to come and pick us up from the hospital? We're stuck here without a car, and we all have injuries that we need to rest from so that they can heal. If you don't come out here and get us, we'll be stuck. Do I sound like I give a crap? What? Joan! I've had it up to here with all of you guys and the crap you've constantly given me. I am not your guys' frickin' driver that you can use whenever you want and then throw away at the last minute. If you all want to do something that requires a car to get to, then you take responsibility for that and actually learn to drive. Wait, please, Joan! Can you calm down about all of what's happened just a tad bit? Joan, you've never been this cold-hearted to all of us before, right? I'm sure that once you've had a second to cool off, you'll be fine with coming out here and picking us all up. Don't worry about not having someone come to get you. Because even if I don't plan on being there to take you home, the police will be. What? What do you mean by the police will be here to take us home? It's so great to hear that you all are at least not in a life-threatening situation anymore. But you got into a car accident while not carrying a valid driver's license. Did you think that the police would never show up to investigate that accident? The moment they realized that you have no driver's license and were driving that car, they are going to take you into custody. Take me into custody? Are you sure? But I got injured in that accident as well. Everyone in the family is hurt in some way, and none of us are in the place to be dealing with the police right now. So why the hell would they take me into custody? Well, I'm just telling you what will most likely happen, so I'm sorry that your poor choices are catching up to you. But what you did was against the law, and in that crash you caused a lot of problems for other people around you. Now tell me, Doris, why do you keep trying to play things off as though you've done nothing wrong this whole time? You already messed up the moment you left me in the mountains when it's the middle of winter and not many people are around. Idiot! And with that one extremely stupid choice, you tied the knot to the noose that's been around your neck this whole time. Stinking idiot. Joan, I am really in a tough spot right now, and so is the rest of the family. Don't you think you're taking things a bit too far now by laughing at me with no sympathy to what's happened? Is there nothing about what's happened that's bothering you? Anything bothering me? There's nothing about what's happened with you all that bothers me now. All you are to me now is a couple of strangers that are so rotten that you left me in the mountains in the freezing cold, after telling me you didn't even reserve a spot for me at the resort. And soon I'll be divorced from Scott, and we'll be able to cut ties to you all for good. I'm sure when Scott finds out about the divorce, he'll be in just as big of trouble as you're in right now. But he has his family, so please be there to support him after I leave. What do you mean Scott will be in trouble? Why do you keep talking about how we'll be in trouble? Well, Scott used to work a job as a truck driver, right? Did you think that he'd be able to continue his job as a truck driver after losing his license, though? Huh? Then Scott, what's he been doing now? Well, for the past few months, he's been playing video games all day without ever moving from the couch. Then that means he's not making any money right now. Well, if you think about it, not having a job would stop you from making any money, right? I have to say that all of this happened at the perfect time for me. I'd been thinking of leaving him for at least a year now. So now you can all work together as a family to find a way out of your guys' troubles. Joan, wait, please! Right now my own daughter isn't working a job either, and she's not even looking for one currently. Who is going to be the one to pay for my husband and I from now on? Who's going to be the one to pay for the wrecked car and all of our hospital bills now? Don't be so crazy, Doris. I hope you didn't start to think that you could ask me to pay for all you guys now. You all are complete strangers to me. And that's exactly what you'd been wishing for. Now the four of you do your best to make it out of that terrible situation in any way you possibly can. Goodbye forever, you old scummy hag. After all of that, Joan began to completely ignore Scott and his family. And as for Scott's mom, Doris, she was taken from the hospital by the police and moved to a local jail where she would be held until her court date. Scott tried reaching out to Joan for forgiveness, telling her he'd try harder to be a good husband, but Joan no longer had the patience to listen to him cry. After everything that whole family did to Joan, this is the only outcome. Joan was able to come out on top, cutting ties with that whole toxic family for good. But that ended up leaving Scott with his messed up family as they now raced towards a terrifying end. Well, this is what they all asked for after treating Joan like garbage, and so the only way they'll be able to make it out is as a changed family. At least they can all be thankful that Doris's decision to drive didn't leave them all 6 feet under.